All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for 11 Little Roosters. 10 Little Roosters.
Yes, we're not there yet.
Not there yet. But this is episode 6.
That's right.
And then there were 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, and then there wasn't Ryan.
Aww. He thinks Ryan's going to die this episode. So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, and he's going to die because he's trapped in an airtight
Edgar hole.
Underground chamber, an Edgar hole.
Yeah.
It'd be quite poetic. Yeah.
So technically that would mean Edgar, I suppose, is the one that dies. Because...
And you think that Lindsay is the killer.
Correct. Right. Yes.
You said that there was some suspicion maybe thrown towards Miles.
Because he was the most medium suspect, but Lindsay is just acting like weird.
Sure. Okay. And she's also been by herself a lot.
Right, and she had motive to kill Michael.
Yep. Okay, yep. And then now she's just cleaning up the house or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, interesting. That's good that you're bringing up motive and stuff, because while this is a goofy little web series and stuff, there are hints of stuff like motive, not necessarily motive, but of that that if you look closely, you'll see them. But they made a good point. There's a lot of red herring hints in this where they're leading you down a false trail. So let's see if your suspicions are correct.
Yeah.
We'll get this episode started. Okay. Oh God, I remember this episode.
Welcome to The Know, I'm Lindsay, and in case you haven't heard, everyone at Rooster Teeth is being brutally murdered right now, and I really hope this is being broadcast out, and maybe someone will come help us or call the police or something, please. My Michael is dead. My dear, sweet Michael.
Is this the recap
I saw
episode?
the Gavin's bodies mangled in the mousetraps. Chris Demiris got Boromired, fucking nerd, and Bernie's corpse was flopped over at his desk, and I saw Gus impaled by a pitchfork. Upon seeing the dead bodies, I released this statement saying, quote, "Holy fucking shit, we're all going to fucking die here. Oh my fucking God." Fuck. No word yet on who the killer is or if any more bodies have been found, but we're hoping that someone has called police at this point and can possibly—
just in. Barbara's
Jesus.
not dead yet.
You scared the hell out of me, Barb. God damn it.
Sorry, just happy to see you're still alive.
Sorry. You too.
This just in, Ryan is stuck in an underground pit and I'm trying to get him out. Click here. Have you seen
funny, that's
any
an actual-
axes, by the way?
I have not. But
You could
if I
click on
do,
it and go to the previous
I'll be sure to
episode.
keep you
Huh.
in the know.
Or, you could just bring them to me.
Yeah, I could do that too.
All right, see ya.
Bye now. Please help us. Anyone?
So stealth.
Like a ninja.
Okay,
All the
Montague.
random stuff in the background.
Where is that emergency beacon?
Yeah.
Hi, this is Ryan from Achievement Hunter, and this is Things to Do While Dying in a Small Hole from Lack of Oxygen. Yep. Out there, you're the law. Down here, I'm the law. I'm the law! Welcome to court. Guys, shut up.
The Mad King,
Michael,
indeed.
stop jerking each other. I'm gonna put you in the stocks with Jeff. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom! Ha!
The original
Yeah,
combat skirt.
Why we had a banana in the
Use
front
up
pocket.
all that
Went down
oxygen,
in a
buddy.
hole, but at least my potassium will be great. Can't brush carpet, apparently. Coffee. Hot coffee. Must have coffee. It's a shitty location. We can get you stitched up. I'm so sorry, Grandpa Wilson. Just put it back in. There, you're all better. Oh, now. Almost out of there.
Classy.
What's funny is that there's that window up above, and if he dies like that, oh, and that's it.
Nope. Twist.
Wait.
Fuck you, Hole. Like a cow, I have opposable thumbs.
Wait. So
Yeah.
he just used the door?
Yeah, no, I know this.
No,
I
he
watched
just
this in Jurassic
he just
Park.
busted out of it.
Except much better looking.
So then the question is, so Miles could totally die with the... How's it? Wait a minute.
What the fuck? Is that red versus blue choreography? How have Monty and Shane not shown me this shit? Fist my ass. This is beautiful. Oh my god, that is awesome.
Oh, I remember this. Yep.
Ooh, kinda, I don't know how I feel about that move. Why's he got his ass in the air like that? I don't get that. Okay, that's just sex. That's what that is. I'm just looking at dot sex. Alright, I get that art is subjective, but this is just smut at this point. This is disgusting. I mean, I'm aroused, but disgusting. You are a sick man, Monty.
What I don't get is what's the...
Why are you just lying there, Monty? What are you doing? Nobody's gonna want to watch this. Sleeping.
What's the...
I need to
What
figure
was
out
the
how to pee
weapon,
in this
though?
thing.
You'll see.
Oh,
The mouse.
the mouse.
Yep. See, it's like
Yeah.
hammered back in.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, I did not expect the twist.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy because I think
Ryan is
it's
awesome.
Yeah, Ryan is awesome, and that was fitting for him to just get out of there.
Numbers are getting really small.
They're getting really small.
And he was the guy you expected to survive, Adam. So
Correct. So now that Adam is dead, we pretty much know that it's not Miles now, because he was like right there when he was dying. So
Okay.
there's still a chance for him to die from a crescent rose to the chest. Now they were setting it up almost like it would be Ryan, because he had just gotten out, but I don't know, that would be, it'd be too obvious. But that could be the whole joke.
possibly.
I still think it's Lindsay.
Okay. The other thing that is good to think about is the next one is, one got what they wanted and then there were three. So
Right.
the next person is getting something that they want.
Right.
And you think that is Miles with Crescent Rose?
Correct. Yes, because he was looking for
Okay.
Crescent Rose.
Now-
or he might not have been. But
Now, I wanted to remind you, he has never said in the show that
That's
he
right,
wanted Crescent
that's right.
Rose.
Well, I suppose if we were going on twists, right?
Mm-hmm.
If since I haven't been calling the shots so far,
Mm-hmm.
If I were to just be completely wrong, let's say like Lindsay died in the next episode or
Mm-hmm.
something. Maybe she also has part of the life insurance policy and she's able to collect it that way. Or at least cash in on it, even though she wouldn't be collecting it. At this point, that one really threw me for a spin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, Lindsay still seems like the killer to me.
How's your memory on the, some of the original episodes?
On the original episode, it's pretty good. Now, one of the things that I noticed in there is that they didn't actually, of the people that there were clues of I think this person might be the killer.
Mm-hmm.
The main three were Adam, Gus, and Lindsay.
Right.
Because Lindsay had the motive with the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Adam had the beard, and Gus had the
drink.
The drink, right? So it wasn't Gus, it wasn't Adam, which leaves Lindsay. But Miles was also very medium suspect, but he can't be the killer, and there's just no way Barbara's the killer.
Okay.
So I'm sticking with Lindsay. being the
Okay.
killer.
So if in the next episode you're wrong again, or you're 100% right, let's say Miles dies in the next episode,
Sure.
and it's still ambiguous. Are you feeling like things are getting more and more obvious or more and more confusing?
If anything, I feel like things are getting more and more confusing because
Interesting.
Because with the way they had it before, they made it very obvious, like, okay, who they were trying to make you believe was the killer. Like, for instance, Gus, of having him do all the stuff with the computer and everything like that, and being the one person who wasn't shown when the killer first showed up, like, those sorts of things. But then he died, so I almost am wondering whether they're doing sort of the what a twist, like, kind of for the lulz thing.
I will tell you that that's not 100% accurate. What it is there's all the hints could be found at the beginning, the very beginning, including the poem, to figuring out not only who the killer is, but who dies when and who survives.
The question is when you think about it in hindsight, is it those clues? Oh, obviously that was the clue pointing for that thing, or is it okay? They technically left a clue there, but the red herrings made a lot more sense.
So I will tell you that the red herrings are easier to find.
Sure,
the red herrings are
by their nature. That's probably the point.
Exactly. The red herrings are very much in your face, and yet. When you look at, so remember, I figured this out 2 episodes ago.
Right.
So when I looked at the big picture 2 episodes ago, it was very obvious who the killer was. Now, I didn't figure out, who was dying at what part, necessarily, 100% of the remaining stuff. But the killer was very obvious. So there are parts in this whole string of episodes since the first one where the killer has made a mistake, and basically you missed a bunch of those. There weren't a bunch of them, but there were when what was it, Chris that died Boromir style? Yes.
Yeah. Because in the previous episode, the killer showed up with the gasoline, and instead just they hugged it out, because he started talking about, it's not my fault, and that was great. So that, I would say, is the most obvious example of the killer making a mistake. But maybe I just need to go back and rewatch the previous episodes or something.
I almost think that's a little bit cheating, because you're so smart, you'd probably just figure it out.
Sure.
But I would think it would be cool with you watching the original episode, definitely in your own time prior to the finale.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense, because the whole point is that you should be able to figure everything out from the first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do a thing eventually where they're like, did you notice this? Did you notice this?
Sure, so that when there's the big reveal, they're like, we were, we had it planned out the whole time.
Right, and it's not the most, it's not the most excellently 10 out of 10 writing, of the whole thing, but it's, from a mystery standpoint, it's like you're playing a bad game of Clue.
Right. And
if you were paying attention to everything and you got maybe 2 or 3 of these who dies when parts correct,
then you'd be able to figure out
the rest.
Sure.
One of the things that, I won't give you a clue necessarily, but one of the things that helped me figure it out was I basically always looked at the roster from the standpoint of who is basically making the anomalous kind of actions and stuff.
Right.
And from there, I never looked at it from your perspective, which is, all right, now this person's the killer, now this person's the killer. I basically left it as open-ended as possible until things started to stack in a certain person's direction, and then I was this person is the killer.
I'm not the best at murder mysteries in general, because I do tend to basically say all right, I'm going to assume that this thing I think is true, and then build off of that to try and figure everything out.
That's a very bad way of doing this. I mean, you're doing a good job. You figured out the first half of everything pretty doggone accurately.
Yeah, but
those are
now-
the easy ones.
Now it's broken down.
Those
Right.
are the
Yeah,
easy
those are the
ones. And your first one where you were completely off was Bernie.
Right.
And that was when you probably should have started to kind of reevaluate your positions on a lot of things.
Yeah,
Because
that's a
I'm
good
not going
point.
to tell you what suppositions you have that are right or wrong.
Yeah.
Because some of them might be right, and I don't want to be like, narrowing your options
Well,
down.
the
But it would be fun to see if you made it all the way to the last episode, and then when the person's revealed to be the killer, you're like, oh, well, duh, of course. That would just be funny.
well so the one that I don't think it's this person, and maybe it's just like a gut instinct thing, and maybe that's why I'm I haven't gotten these last few ones, but I just really don't think it's Barbara.
Okay.
But she has been in, like, to go through the characters. Barbara, I don't think it's her, but as for her actual screen time compared to the other characters, it seems to be pretty small. And then as for, so, it could be that she's the killer and all the times in the, the costume or whatever, that's her screen time. And the whole thing about the costume being Ryan's, it could be Ryan, but yeah, I hope not. It'd be a funny joke, but I hope not, because that'd sort of just be like too tongue-in-cheek.
Right.
And then Miles, I just really want to see him with a crescent rose in the chest. Like, I really want to see that. Like, I
love that. That's your I can't wait for that. So
want
just
that
to
happen
recap
so
over the
bad.
next few clues, the next person who's going to die after the person that gets what they want is the person who died of a pun. And the killer was killed, and then there was one.
And then there was one, right.
Right.
So this next person is the person who got what they wanted?
Yes. And then after
Okay.
that is one
Yeah.
died of a pun.
Right.
Then the killer was killed.
And then there was one. And the problem with that is that any three of those could be Barbara, because she could kill the killer with the pun. She could be the one that was killed with the pun, and that's why it's a pun. She could be the killer, and she used the pun to kill somebody.
That's the other thing you haven't actually thought about is, remember the numbers. Remember how many people are left. There's 4 people left. So there's going to be 3 people alive in the final episode.
Right.
And
Yes.
the one died of a pun could be one of the people that's not the killer, or it could be the killer being killed of a pun. You haven't
And then
figured
you just
out
have
whether
to
or
come
not
up with a way for it, and then you would basically just have to say that the third person that wasn't killed, right, or that was killed but not by the killer, or whatever, how they were killed,
Right.
Because then that
remember,
clue
there's one
doesn't
person that
cover it.
survives.
Yes, there's one person that survives.
But I will tell you, you have completely forgotten this, and I told you, I think in the last episode, was you figured out the died of a pun person pretty much a long time ago, and you basically passed it on and said that was a stupid idea. You're like, it was really funny.
Oh,
Like, it was really funny. I don't know if any of the viewers would catch it, but yeah, this would be something for you to think about in between next week's episode.
okay.
So thank you for watching, guys. Until next time, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all next time.